Hello, my Scorpio ladies. This reading is for you. This reading encompasses the whole Scorpio season since it's your birthday. I did one for the males earlier. This is the female one. Sorry, this is a few days late. Decided to go play with my niece one of the days and then had some other stuff to do the other couple days. So I do apologize that the male and female reading was not back to back. However, I have it here for you now. So, just to remind you guys about readings, take what fits your situation and leave the rest for somebody else. That's one important thing to remember. And the other important thing to remember is to flip and switch the roles as necessary for your situation, okay? So this reading encompasses October 23rd to November 21st, because that is Scorpio season. Happy birthday, guys. I'm a fellow Scorpio. My birthday is the 29th, and so I have a special deck for myself that's what I read on, and so this reading isn't mine. I make sure that I keep my energy out of the reading when I'm doing female Scorpio or Scorpio in general. So let's get started here for your birthday season reading, okay? And this could happen anytime in the recent past, the upcoming future to November 21st. It could be just a little bit in or out of that range, but that's the general timeline here. Your first card out was the Sisterhood of the Silk Road. And what the Sisterhood of the Silk Road talks about is open-minded adventures. It has a wanderlust, fortunate travels vibe to it. The fortunate connections are made you're on your journey so far. People that can exchange worldviews and spiritual concepts freely. They tend to gravitate toward the refined things, art museums, musicals, books, the art galleries, whatever you want to go with for that. Those were the examples in the book. Those experiences, though, have enriched your life and theirs greatly. So it's like you guys have that in common. The other part of that card is to embrace adventure outside your daily routine, to bring back a childlike openness, to activate your curiosity, and good safe travels are indicated, and then there's gratitude indicated for the close bonds made along the way. So what a beautiful card to have, but let's get into the clarifiers to see more information. So your first clarifier out was the Tower. And your next clarifier out was the Eight of Cups. And your last clarifier on that row was the Queen of Cups. Okay, so the Tower, that talks about breaking down of an outworn sense of values, a sudden shock that is nevertheless a blessing in disguise, freedom from old, possibly self-imposed restrictions. Sudden disruptive change is inevitable. The Eight of Cups, that talks about seeking, and that the descriptors for that was don't be afraid to leave the past behind and travel. There's plenty more in the world to see and experience. If you are disillusioned with your life now, take heart because the future promises to be brighter. You need to follow your heart and do what you truly desire. And then the Queen of Cups talks about a beautiful woman with expressive eyes and sensuous lips, hair color that is or naturally was fair at birth, a warm, sympathetic, and sociable woman. She may be artistically gifted and very imaginative. The Queen is honest, loyal, and devoted to those she loves. Okay, so with that, all that information together, kind of looks like you had a connection with people that you felt free with and content with and unfortunately there was a breakdown. You realize that maybe they didn't meet your sense of values with that tarot or that tower card there, as well as you thought, but your separation was a blessing in disguise from that, or your separation from your self-imposed restrictions was a blessing in disguise. The sudden disruptive change that was inevitable, it could have been either on your behalf or theirs, kind of thing. But either way, there was a breakdown, whether it be your values didn't match or they didn't think your values matched their values, whatever, there's some sort of separation that happened, which led to you seeking, and you might want to be wanting to travel, or you might feel a little afraid to do it, but you're supposed to do it anyway. The Eight of Cups is there to basically encourage you to see a new outlook on life and experience new things. Okay, so you are coming out of your tower moment seeking something better, something different, which is good. And then the Queen of Cups talks about, like I said, a woman with expressive eyes and sensuous lips. That could be you. You could have naturally fair hair, or you did at birth. Maybe you diet a lot and it's not that right now, but it was. And then, you're more sympathetic, warm, sociable, and artistically gifted. So maybe that card is describing you or the woman that you are seeking to spend more time with, because they do bring you better experiences. Either way, but I have a feeling the way this is laid out that your situation, you had people you thought you connected with, it didn't work out because you guys, you didn't match as well as you thought, so now you're seeking something better, and this is just describing you as a person, okay? That's my my take on it. Let's move on to the next row here, or line. So your next card out is the Magical Key. And what the Magical Key talks about is faith, hope, and gifts. It is your birthday season, so I would expect some sort of gift card to be out here, but it could possibly not be related to your birthday that you receive a gift, okay? That card talks about, like I said, faith, hope, gifts. It's important to have faith in a benevolent universe. This card talks about being susceptible to fear or depression, hopelessness, worry, and imaginings of the worst case scenario. You have found yourself in a difficult place. It talks about the need to be optimistic and realize help is nearby. It talks about the need to seek best case scenarios or imagine best case scenarios to resolve issues and trust that you will find peace again. Okay, let's move on to your clarifiers and then talk about it as a group. Oops. So your first clarifier out was the Four of Pentacles. Your next clarifier out was the Two of Cups. And your next clarifier out was the Seven of Swords. So what the Four of Pentacles talks about is possessions, material stability, and holding on to the security and possessions you have gained. Financial problems will be overcome. You will find yourself in a comfortable situation and money in the bank. Two of Cups talks about commitment. Now, commitment can be love-based, like intimate love, or it can be familial-based or friend-based. It doesn't necessarily have to be a couple, but we'll just get into the description as written. And that description says, love and understanding between two people, harmonious relations and emotional contentment. It may show in this case, opposites attract, When the link is not deeply emotional or romantic, it can show cooperation, mutual respect, friendship, and the ending of a rivalry. And then the Seven of Swords, that talks about dishonesty, actually. Direct confrontation to an opponent will not work. You have to be cunning and use all your wiles to defeat an enemy. Perhaps you have to sacrifice something to succeed. Your efforts or someone else's efforts towards you are half-hearted. Yeah, okay, so it could be, putting these two together now, you might be depressed about this fact here, that you had friends that you thought you could connect with and they didn't turn out the way you hoped, right? You had your tower moment. And so now you're starting anew, you're seeking for new, and that might cause a little depression and worry. You could feel like you are in a difficult place with that, okay? That's kind of what I'm seeing as how these are playing out. And then you add in the Four of Pentacles as the clarifier. You could be depressed about possessions because you're having trouble holding on to money in the bank or something like that as well. Or you could be just protecting yourself from this group because of the possessions that you have acquired. And possessions, I know it sounds really rude to refer to other people as possessions, and that's not at all what I'm saying, but maybe you've acquired new friends or a new love interest or a new more of like a family dynamic or any kind of thing like that that you really just want to protect. It doesn't necessarily have to be material stuff that you are being possessive over, but it could be that, or it could be just a new group, a new lifestyle, a new whatever. Okay? And the way this is laid out, that's kind of what I see. You're just being protective over what you've gained, and you have a commitment of some sort that's really just making you feel good, and you want to protect that. So with that Two of Cups also talking about the end of a rivalry, there may be a rivalry involved with these cards out the way they are, but I'm not quite getting that so much. More or less, it's just okay, I don't align here as well as I thought, so I'm going to put all my dedication into this. That's kind of what it looks like to me. So not really a rivalry, just a protective of what you've gained, okay? And then the Seven of Swords talks about dishonesty. Now this, with this card, all being out here, that kind of tells me with that Seven of Swords, the dishonesty card, either somebody wasn't honest with you about who they were, or on the other hand, you are probably hiding some of what you are doing, so that you don't have to have everybody over here in your business, maybe. The other hand of that could be just that somebody over here was dishonest, and that's part of the breakdown. But where this card actually talks about direct confrontation to an opponent will not work, and that you have to be cunning. You probably do have maybe a rivalry within this sect that you were never expecting, you never thought would happen, what kind of, or whatever you feel. And so you feel you have to use your wits, your cunning, your brains, and you can't outright confront anybody because it doesn't work, okay? So that's how I am reading that. And the sacrifice to succeed, you may have had to sacrifice this over here in order to succeed in this, the commitment that you have going on, okay? So you may have had to sacrifice this in order for, this good thing right here to be around, okay? Let's move on to the Dryads. This is your next row, the Dryads. And what the Dryads talks about is wisdom and grounding. Actually, for those of you that don't know, dryads are female nature spirits who preside over groves and forests. Each tree that has a dryad protector, or each tree does have a dryad protector, I'm sorry. When that tree dies, the dryad dies with it. And the dryad is attuned to the high frequency of communication with nature, and so are you. And as far as the descriptor of the card that goes along with what a dryad is, it says that you are attuned with the high frequency communication of nature, knowing what to draw close to and what to stay away from. That can be with people and nature, okay? You are being called to spend time outdoors and improve focus, reduce stress, and accelerate spiritual and physical healing, because there's something you need to do in the outdoors. Okay, let's go through your clarifiers and then come back and read it as a group. So your first clarifier out was the Seven of Wands. Your next clarifier out was the Nine of Pentacles. And then your last clarifier out on the dryads was the Ten of Pentacles. Now it's really rare to get that 9 and 10 right next to each other. That doesn't happen very often that I see. So they're both good cards, so let's see what's up here. The Seven of Wands, your first one, that talks about defiance. This card shows a time of adversity when it is important to stand your ground and not give an inch. You need to be stubborn and stand up for yourself, because only a firm attitude and resolute actions will win the day. You will eventually triumph over great odds. Okay, that adds a little more clarification back here. Okay, let's move on to the Nine of Pentacles and then we'll talk about it. Nine of Pentacles talks about comfort, enjoyment of the comfort that money can buy, good sense of financial shrewdness. This card relates to good administration of resources and shows that relaxation is now possible after hard work. The purchase of new furniture is possible, and a connection to gardens is also possible. Then your Ten of Pentacles, which is this last one here, that talks about wealth, success, honor, a good family life, excellent relations between generations, inheritance and family property. This card also can be an indicator of marriage, or the fact that you are in a marriage. The carrying on of family traditions is also a part of this Ten of Pentacles. So that's beautiful. Reading it together as a group, you probably need some, with this Seven of Swords right before the dryads, you probably need some time outside to relax. Maybe you feel you're at your best when you're in nature, right? Or maybe you feel most relaxed when you're at nature or in nature. And so you might need to take some time for yourself to just chill out outside doing something fun. I know it's getting cold here in Minnesota, but just still try to spend some time out. Like maybe there's an Oktoberfest going on. I don't know if they have those this late. Or go out to a Halloween event, or, just spend some time kind of outside and get de-stressed, okay? Connect, because you're very in tune with people and with nature, according to the Dryad card. So if you are a person that is in tune with nature, or you like to be in nature, that's your safe haven. This reading is probably for you if this stuff kind of sounds familiar back here. So yeah, just make sure that you're taking some time to really get out in nature, relax. You are intuitive and you are attuned. So you probably know what's more than what you're letting on as well, with that dishonesty possibly there. So following up with that, you're probably just very intuitive. And you know about some dishonesty as well. Okay. So then, with this Seven of Wands immediately afterwards, here you're talking about dishonesty. Here you have this, tendency towards depression and worry. Over here you have this Tower moment right after you find a group that you enjoy. So it kind of just seems like with this, now all of a sudden you're defiant. You're like, no, I'm not putting up with anybody's crap. I'm going to do what I need to do for me. And you're standing up for yourself. The defiance is really in this reading, it's not really even defiance. It's just standing up for yourself and saying, no, I am not going to do that. I am not going to, it's a boundary basically, or a very strong self-love that is saying, I'm going to protect what I need to protect, and to heck with the rest, which, you know, I'm going to protect me first and foremost. That's kind of what this reading is saying. And then when you add in the comfort, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Wealth card, in the Ten of Pentacles, the Comfort card, and the Wealth card, basically you just have stuff that you're enjoying, especially financially. It seems like you're in a pretty good spot financially. You're in a pretty good, happy relationship. You're protecting of your possessions and stuff like that. And you're having a good time. You have some money and you're being frugal with it, but you're also having fun with it. You know, you put in a lot of hard work to be at that point, and so now it's just, you know, you feel like you're in a good spot here, and that's part of your defiance. You don't want that to go away. You don't want your good spot to go away. You don't want your what appears to be a love connection to go away, and so you're really just protective, you know, here, because you've faced some stuff, but really this stuff isn't bothering you all that much, you know. I think this kind of shows a little history as to why we're going this direction, and this is more where you're at right now over here. I think this is just telling us a little bit of a picture, but either way you're trying to protect, you know, the love, the success, the wealth, the happiness that you've gained, because you are this, you know, solid, kind, warm person, and it doesn't look to me like you were treated as such, and so you became depressed and then you came out fighting. You know, that's kind of your vibe here, which I absolutely love. Now let's move on to the next and final in the row of Oracle and Tarot, and this is the Lilith card. And what Lilith talks about, oops, let me rearrange these. I get a little bit distracted if the cards aren't laying the way I need them to lay to point it out to you guys, okay? Sorry about that. But Lilith talks about self-actualization and power. And for those of you that don't know, Lilith, according to myth, was the first female created in the Garden of Eden. When the creator discovered her dominance over her male, or basically her strength over her male counterpart, the creator was displeased and cast her out of Eden. Lilith then returned as the serpent to tempt Eve to eat the fruit from the tree of knowledge. And so this card is all about determined feminine empowerment, the need to exercise personal power, enhance your own nature without guilt. There will be pushback likely or consequences likely for you standing up for yourself and coming into your power, but you are still called to be yourself and become who you were meant to be. That makes sense with all of this back here. Okay, you're just like standing up for yourself. But let's get into these clarifiers here, and then we'll read it as a group. So your first card out was the Three of Swords. Three of Swords is a beautiful card, but I'm never a fan when it's out here. It really speaks to, you know, some hard times. The next card out was the Ten of Cups. Okay. And the final card for that row was the Strength card. And so what the Three of Swords talks about is heartache. A painful ending of a relationship. That which has stood in your way is now being removed. Possibly a three-way relationship, which is heartache, or in which heartache is inevitable for all of the participants, or one. and minor surgery possible is a side note on that card. Moving on to the Ten of Cups. That talks about contentment, peace, friendship, good companionship, and family happiness. That is going to last. An excellent card for group activities, denoting success and fun. It foretells what is wished for is fulfilled and that everything will work out for the best. Okay, and then the Strength card here, that talks about courage and fortitude, honor, reliability, and honesty. Physical strength or courage defeating mean attitudes and hatred. You will triumph over your enemies. If ill health has occurred, rapid improvement will occur, and this is also a card of a fight for fair play. So, yeah, okay, definitely the way this has played out, I can honestly tell you, starting from A and going to Z over here, you had a situation of friends where you thought you fit in, you thought you were part of the group, you thought that you guys connect because you could see things that you could connect on, right? And you thought everything was kosher. And then you had a tower moment, and because you realized that wasn't actually the case, and you had to get away from the group, okay, of whatever sort. And so then you started seeking out better ways to be or new opportunities in relationships, stuff like that. You are a person who is kind, sweet, loyal, just overall a good person, and that wasn't meeting your needs, so that's what you're seeking. You are that person, so you were seeking that in other people, and this group was not that. Even if you vibed on, the things that you liked, the things that you like to do or whatever. Now this, when you go back to the magical key and the depression and the protection of possessions, and then you have this beautiful commitment here, and then it comes out with the Seven of Swords of dishonesty. Well, there's, you probably fell into some depression because of what occurred back here and stuff like that, and now you're really protective over your commitment. You're protective not only over your commitment, but any other thing in your life that you feel is threatened, whether it be possessions, material, or not, you are protecting those things, and your commitment comes first. And there's some dishonesty surrounding this situation, it looks like, as to why you left or why you're upset or whatever the case may be. There's some dishonesty right around this, and it could be that they're speaking dishonesty about your relationship. It could be that they're speaking dishonesty about you. Whatever the case might be, there's some dishonesty here. Maybe there's some half-hearted efforts as well, because this card talked about half-hearted efforts to see your point of view, and or to connect with you, reconnect with you, try to figure out what's going on, or you have a half-hearted effort towards this situation now because it sucked. Now, with then following that up immediately with the dryads, and saying you need some time to have some peace out in nature. You need to be able to connect with things that give you peace, right? As well as the fact that you're very intuitive and you're attuned to high frequencies, probably a little bit psychic or extremely intuitive, and you just know that you need peace and this isn't right for you, type of deal. Then with the Defiance card here is you actually being that fire. If you look at this card here, the Seven of Wands, and it talks about defiance. See all that fire, and that guy with the spear, and he's sitting on top of a dragon. He's ready to go against all those torches at the bottom. You see that? You're in high alert is basically what's happening. Because of this situation, you're in high alert, and you don't have a whole lot of trust, and so you're like, no, I am not going to do this. It is defiance, but it's more protection, it seems to me. Back here, it also talked about your possessions and, taking care of or protecting those possessions. So Yeah, you just stood up and you were like, no, you rose like the whole damn fire and you said, I'm not doing this anymore. And you have comfort and wealth here that you're trying to protect in a relationship, and it looks like you're just saying, no, I'm not letting anything in to ruin this stuff. Okay. And then with that Lilith card, uh, being empowered, you've rose up and become so empowered and so beautiful and so vibrant, I guess. You absolutely came into your personal power. This seems like it was a catalyst for you to end up in your Lilith, to be in your personal power. Okay, so this, even though it was sad and heartbreaking and probably made you feel bad, Lilith is here to say to you that you absolutely came into your personal power. And so for me, I have to call this a catalyst. This was something that needed to happen so that you could grow, Scorpio ladies. Okay, whoever I'm reading for, that's definitely it. You definitely needed to come into your own and really fight for yourself. You were probably, with this card here, you were probably meek and mild as well. So, now with that Three of Swords coming out immediately after that, it's because you came into your Lilith because of this. You came into this absolute fierce, determined feminine self-empowerment situation because of this painful ending that happened, and you absolutely got the things out of your way that were holding you back, whatever that may be. I don't see like an actual third party type romantic relationship here. What I do see though is third parties, meaning people outside of your love commitment that were causing the issue, and so that was your way of, you coming into your Lilith was protecting that. There were other people trying to tell you what to do, how to be, who to be around, whatever the case may be, and you weren't having it. And it caused you a lot of heartache and pain. And whether those people see that or not, or whether they know that or not, they about to learn today, because you rose up, like I said, like the whole damn fire. You are ready to take on whoever, whatever, and you're not backing down anymore. And that's beautiful. So, and then with these two cards here tied to that, what came out of you coming into your Lilith because of the heartache was actual contentment and courage, fortitude, honor, reliability, and honesty. You absolutely just grew into this place of contentment. Not only that, but you have family happiness. You have friendships, lasting family happiness. And, this card talked about too the group fun and stuff. So whatever you were standing up for yourself about was definitely something you needed to stand up for yourself about. And had it been heeded well, without the pushback connected to the Lilith card, you could have probably had a reignitement of this situation, maybe with stronger boundaries or something. But you can't have that because of the pushback. So you just live in your contentment, and you're getting your wishes fulfilled and everything else. You're just having this beautiful time, now that you stood up for yourself. And absolutely just beautiful contentment and all this courage, fortitude, defeating mean attitudes and hatred. I'm assuming that's a lot of what you were dealing with. Just mean attitudes, hatred, people talking shit or whatever you want to say. But you defeated that just by, looks like basically just walking away and noping the fuck out of it is basically what you did. And now you've got this beautiful thing going on, and you appear better because you went from depression over here to strength and fortitude and, honor and reliability and honesty and all the things that you couldn't be when you were in this depressed mess right here. So that is, that is your main reading. So either this has happened recently, it will be happening in the time of October 23rd to November 21st, or it will happen shortly thereafter, or it's been an ongoing situation and this is just part of it, and this is kind of where you're at the moment, okay? Now, as far as your other clarifiers here, I pulled a few extra because, it is Scorpio season. It is your birthdays, ladies, and me being a Scorpio too, I absolutely love anything occult or anything. I love reading the tarot, especially for other people. I don't particularly like reading it for myself, but for other people. So I pulled some extras for the ladies here. And what I've got to start out is, this is from a 7 Energies deck, and it says a deep breath. And then your other card as like your final outcome advice is this card, a higher view. So let's just read through those two quick, and then we'll move on. A deep breath talks about a genuine expectation of danger, projection of a threat without substance, fight or flight mode, inability to focus, trusting in the universe as a way to release fear. It also talks about fear and healing, asking for your attention. You or someone is operating from a position of fear because of red flags and that are dangerous. You need to be thankful to the fear for protecting you if you are fearful. If in relation to a risk, you need to move out of your comfort zone and don't isolate out of fear or hurt. Yeah, so I'm assuming with this back here, there was some isolation. You felt like you couldn't, go out and do your thing or be around people. You felt like everybody was a big old question mark, right? Because it looks like you trusted these people back here and you probably shouldn't have, or you shouldn't have trusted all of them. So, that card is, what that card talks about is that fight or flight, and I can see that. And you chose to fight up here with your Lilith coming up. But you did have, people projecting a threat without substance. So you may have had, or you may think there's a threat without substance, but based on what's here, I don't believe that at all. I believe that your threat was very, very real. Even if it wasn't as serious as you may have thought or whatever, it was still there, and it was still messing with you, and it was still messing with your life, right? So, what this card is basically asking you to do is just be thankful for that fear because it kept you out of some bullshit, right? Or it took you out of the bullshit sooner before it could really cause some significant damage or something like that. So absolutely be thankful to the fear and be thankful that you have rose up the way you have, okay? Don't let that fear keep you from making new connections or reconnecting with other people, whatever the case may be, okay? Because your next card, a higher view, that talks about seeing things from a higher perspective, conscious neutrality, letting go of judgment and assumptions, in attachment, the ability to remain unbiased. So yeah, okay, let me finish reading this quick and then I'll say that. Wait before responding, be more graceful in your interactions, see how everything is connected, move to higher mental ground, be mindful, celebrate the spectacle of life's dance. Yeah, sometimes life is a spectacle, right? And you witnessed a spectacle of some sort because you absolutely, shifted. And so now you're seeing things from a higher perspective, or you will be. You'll be seeing things in a different way. like being grateful for the fear instead of upset about the fear. You're learning to wait before you respond to people. Maybe you're a little hot-headed. I can't blame you. I'm the same way. Us Scorpios do have a breaking point where we're just like, no, fuck that, and we're mad then. But it takes us a while to get there. Once we're there, though, it's hard to bring us back down from that. So yeah, you probably got in that headspace, but now you're learning to also wait and be graceful and keep your mouth a little more shut as far as responding to people trying to goad you or get at you or whatever the case may be. And you're learning to be more neutral and just let life flow. You're sitting at higher ground now. Between this card and the Lilith card, you are at a higher ground where this stuff doesn't bother you like it used to. It may bother you a little bit yet, but this stuff isn't going to bother you in the long run. Or this is what's coming in for you, right? If this hasn't happened yet and it's coming in, then you're going to end up there. And you're going to end up here with this higher view. So I wouldn't worry too much about this negative stuff that has or will be happening. Has happened or will happen. So your next clarifier, and I believe this one is a light deck. I can't remember the exact name, but this one is nothing has gone wrong. And your clarifier here, the second one for that was there's only light. Yeah, so higher view, only light, nothing has gone wrong, take a deep breath. Yeah, they connect together very well. But let me read to you about what they mean. So first, nothing has gone wrong. That talks about an obstacle launches new loving requests. Catch your breath and settle into a new outlook. You can't stop anything that has manifested, but it can serve as inspiration to create new paths aligned with your soul truth. Absolutely. So, what has manifested, what's done is done, is what it's saying. What's done is done here, okay? And now you're on this higher view, and it's telling you that you need to be in that space, this higher view space. So you can catch your breath and settle into this new outlook, okay? You understand that this is gone, this is done, this is whatever the case may be, right? It's never going to be the way it was. And now, instead of moping about it, Scorpio, you're off making shit happen and you're creating new paths that align with your soul truth. I see that because with Lilith here, yeah, you're absolutely on it. Lilith to the strength. I mean, with the stuff in the middle, yes, there's a little bad, but it's an explanation, With the strength to Lilith, you are a powerhouse. You are somebody not to be messed with, and that's beautiful because before it was somebody who was meek, mild, and didn't stand up for themselves and got depressed instead of calling people out, and now you're on it. So that's exciting. And then with there's only light, that talks about darkness is just the absence of light. Time to step into your shining light and be illuminated again. The higher view. Release all that is preventing happiness. Struggle isn't required of you. Anything bringing darkness or preventing light must be walked away from. Feel the way back to the light in your soul and heart. Yeah, you found your way back to who you really are after all this mess. Or you will be. That's just what it is. You are. It was truly a blessing in disguise, like the Tower card said, to lose this, to get to this, and keep this and this here. The happy commitment, the finances and success, the strength, the better attitude about yourself, the better intuition, all of this beauty here, all that stuff came because this ending was a blessing in disguise. So don't mourn its loss. Look to the future, okay? Really, really beautiful, actually. Beautiful reading for you. Okay, so I also pulled you a goddess power card because we all have a little goddess inside of us, right? Man, woman, doesn't matter, but since I'm reading to the ladies, I'm using a goddess deck. we all have that divine feminine and masculine inside of us, like a yin and yang sign. So we have a little feminine, a little masculine, you know, um, but we have it both inside of us. And with the ladies, I don't know, I just feel that these goddess power cards really come into play for women who are going through struggles. And when I saw this struggle pop out, I was like, okay, goddess power, bring them some joy. So here we are, and the number 52, this goddess power card, that talks about stillness. Okay, and I'm going to read to you straight out of the book. The empowerment message. The Japanese goddess of winter, Yuki Anna, calls you to a practice of daily meditation and stillness to prepare you for greater productivity and results. Being open and receptive, slowing down and allowing for time to dream activates your partnership with the universe so you can truly set your intentions in motion. Then, almost without effort, you discover their vibrational match in the world of form. Just as the life force quietly builds within a seed buried under snow, so too will the energy build in the seed of your desires before manifesting with no effort on your part. You will find how easy it is to co-create while implementing a practice of stillness and receptivity. Let others make the first move at this time as you assess and observe the world around you from the profound position of stillness and neutrality. In this way, the world becomes more intimate, yet you know to take nothing personally. When the goddess Yuki Anna comes to support you, be still. This calls in the miracles. The action now is non-action. Alignment message. Some days you wake up frozen, stuck, and unable to move due to the effects of emotional denial and resistance to what is in front of you. Or maybe you are exhausted, spent from the emotional burden of your current situation. The winter goddess Yuki Anna has come to help you move out of and past this experience into a healthier state of stillness. When you are frozen, it's the ego that is refusing to accept life on life's terms, potentially causing you fear and depression. A particular situation or person may be causing you to see yourself as a victim. The goddess Yuki Anna reminds you that this is but a temporary moment in the millions of moments of your life. The task she has for you is to answer one question. Will you trust the great goddess in the universe to be your active partner in co-creating? If so, slow down, let all your troubles go, and you will see the miracles life has to offer you. Freaking men. So, yeah, it talked about the neutrality that was here, and it talked about the depression that came here. So this was a situation where you really just were so sad, and this card came out to get you to that headspace of really making sure you stay in this Lilith, stay in this strength, stay in these positive realms and don't go back to this negativity, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. You don't want to go back to this. Let that shit go and just move forward, because you've got so much beauty here that you don't need to worry yourself with this trifling bullshit, okay? I also pulled some Rebel deck messages, and as I stated in the Scorpio male reading, these are offensive, and I love them so much, but they are straight to the point. So your first one out is, you got a feeling you just can't shake. And on the back of the card, it says, that little voice inside you, listen to that shit. So, yeah, you need to follow your intuition, which was with the Dryad card. And this one says, get the fuck out of your head. Okay. And the back of the card says, get in your heart, it misses you. So yeah, you've been in a way for a while where you need to come back into your heart, and you're doing that, or you will be doing that, okay? And in this card, you are loved. You are here for a reason. Don't fuck it up. Exactly. So you're here to be this bright, beautiful person right here that you clawed and scratched your way back to. and now you're in your power, and you need to stay in that power. You need to stay where you know your purpose, and it's not to deal with these trifling problems. It's not to deal with shitty people. It's not to deal with bad situations that bring you down all the time. It's literally to you're loved. You are loved. You are perfect the way you are. Beautiful lady, you are perfect the way you are. Whoever I am reading for, I don't have to know your face, don't have to know your name. I can see right here, right now, that you are a fucking powerhouse. You've dealt with a lot of stuff. You are just beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful Scorpio. Okay. That is it for your reading, ladies. And I hope to see you again for the next one. Again, these are intermittent and kind of spotty right now with several jobs that I've been working on. I mentioned this before. I do resin. I do these tarot readings. I also work as a paraprofessional part-time. I am also an ordained minister, and I help people with counseling. And I run our household as well because my husband works about 45-hour weeks, 50-hour weeks sometimes, depending. And so I do the majority of the household as well. Plus, I'm immunocompromised and I get sick easily. I have a lot of doctor's appointments. So life is really, really full. But I hope you do join me when I, put up one of these intermittent readings because I absolutely love doing them for you. And the more interest, the more I try to make this a priority. So happy birthday again, ladies. Love you bunches. Scorpio ladies, you're awesome. And hope to see you guys watching the readings again soon. Love and hugs.